have 0 impact on overtime. What are you talking about?
Bro, you have shit ADR, man. Shut the fuck up. And then you fucking whine about fucking bot.
I'm not whining, you're whining.
Yeah, we have a problem. You know what the problem is? The problem is I can't play with bots like you in a fucking team in terror site, okay?
And
That-
you're
if I
saying
play solo,
I'm
it's
whining.
fucking yes for me. No worry, and you don't need sorry to say, but you shit. And so you should stop whining about people just because
I'm
they
not
suck
whining,
1-2.
it's you whining.
Shut
You
the
fucking
fuck up,
dog.
man. You whined in the start.
Dog shit.
Fucking bot face. You think you're good? You're shit, man. Who are you? You don't even have a name, man. Fucking bot.
Then who are you?
Bot face.
Yes, you're bot face.
Yeah, you're a mother bot. Fucking bot.
Welcome to ECL. Hey guys, it's Serex here. Today I want to talk about my 3-month ECL experience. Knowing that some of the biggest CSGO YouTubers are behind it, I might get a lot of hate from this, but it is not going to hold me back as I am not here to only hate. I really want the platform to grow and wish only the best for the organization. If you don't know what ECL is, it is a pretty big organization who provide hubs where players can play. They have a pretty cool prizes from their sponsors, and it is hosted on Faceit. As you can see, it has 4 divisions, not counting the aim ladder or all-stars, and in these 4 divisions you require different elo to join. I was playing in the Legends hub, which is their highest one, and I want to go through some things that got me pretty tilted over the past month or a little bit more, and made me decide to better switch back to Faceit's premium. From the first day that I joined, I was already facing with players who are toxic. I understand and know that everywhere in this community there's going to be toxic players, and I'm not saying that I am the best one. I get upset as well, but you have to have some limits, and most of the players who play there don't. You could explain to them 5 times that they need to calm down and they still wouldn't care. I know ECL is fighting against Toxicity as much as they can, but in my opinion they could do much more. The reporting system is one of the worst ones I know. To give you a perspective, from around 200 games I have reported 4 guys in 3 games, which sounds pretty good on paper, but they have made reporting so hard to do that basically you need to record your own game's POV, which requires you to get some third-party software or GeForce experience. In-game talking happens through their Discord server. I will talk about issues with that later as well. So if you want to prove that this exact player was toxic, you have to have Discord in-game overlay enabled, which will allow admins to see who's talking. It sounds pretty reasonable, but in my case I really hate it, and I want as much less distracting things on my screen when playing. Thankfully, I have admins ignore it and trust me that it was the exact player who was being toxic. But it took me around 20 minutes every time to gather clips to report someone, or if it's a GeForce experience video and if I have 5-minute videos, I would have to cut them down because it would take faster to do that than uploading the whole 25-minute session. And in their website, they require you to have a link to the video, which again makes you find another place where to upload it. To cut down and write down everything for the report, it took me 30 to 50 minutes. And then you start to understand why most people wouldn't bother to report everyone who's being toxic. At the end of the day, you are paying almost 7 euros every month for a service and would want the organizer to be one step ahead with these issues. Even though one of the Legends admins said to me they got lots of reports, I'm 300% sure that most of the players do not even bother to report someone, because some players' computers ain't the best ones and wouldn't handle a recording software on top. I even know a few players who face lags just from having Discord on, and even if they could, I have discussed with players that it is too much work to report someone. It is not worth their time, and so do I. If the player is really annoying, like in the situation I'm about to show you, then yes, I do not bother to waste my time to reporting him to keep other players safe.
You're complaining after the rounds. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
How you die?
Who the fuck knows, man?
How you die?
I'm false. Can you just play the game or you're
No, I'm not going to fucking play the game with this idiot in the team, man. What the fuck are you even doing, man? What are you talking? Trash, man. You're tilting the whole team and then you're like, oh my god, we're losing, man. Of course. I'm so glad I'm recording this, man. You're getting banned.
Even though this is the worst case scenario, and at the end, one of the owners, Jeff, came out and said that he's not happy with the situation, this guy would have gotten a week ban. But when I caught him trolling the very next game, they decided to kick him out of the hub. And if it has to go this far to get motivation to report someone, I don't see it worth it. I'm just draining my energy, and after a few altercations like this, I don't feel like playing at all. I would play around 1 to 2 games a day, and I would feel exhausted from the toxicity that is ongoing in game. I'm not saying that every game you'll get someone who is toxic, or that this happens in every of their hubs. When I first started off, I would say around 50% of the games there would be someone who is toxic. Not like this toxic like I showed you, but toxic in general. For the past month, that number has gotten up to around 80%, as new players are coming in. I had many situations when people have to stand up and tell others to calm their mouths. And only if all other players would be on the same note, the guy would calm down. Even though sometimes that doesn't help as well. The second biggest issue they have is their Discord server, which is constantly facing bugs. They have a switch feature that automatically moves players to their channels, and a little bit more than a week ago, it was broken. They had this problem for about 2 weeks. I didn't play that much in that period, but when I did, we had to get in their temporary channels to play. Everything would be okay and people would have no problem with it, but sometimes players couldn't even join the temp channels or something else would happen. The worst thing we experienced was getting moved across channels mid-game. Sometimes even in the enemy's channel, and it wouldn't happen only once but multiple times a game. I got 2 games cancelled because of this, and in one game the admin delayed us for 30 minutes, jumping back and forth through channels trying to decide what to do. If you have an admin who takes this long to decide something and comes back to ask the same questions over and over again, I don't see it working out. We are here to play, not to wait for you to fix your own issues. These were the reasons I wouldn't play ECL. As I was streaming, more time was wasted trying to find channels or admins trying to fix something than the actual playtime. The community in multiple occasions have said that they want to switch from Discord to TeamSpeak, where the biggest hubs are hosting their voice servers, but nobody seems to care. And this brings me to my last issue, feedback. ECL has a feedback chat in their Discord, and the community gives a pretty good advice, even though they have started to respond much more. When I was dealing with ban abuse, nobody seemed to care. The issue was me receiving a ban because 2 players were harassing me the whole game, name dropping and trash talking in chat, and after I responded to them, one of the players recorded it and cropped out me being toxic. Therefore, I received a 3-day ban. This is a pretty big issue because when I wrote in feedback chat, few people responded that they have faced the same issue. And for me, it makes no sense and proves that their reporting system is a total disaster. I think that everything that is wrote in your feedback chat should be addressed, and situations like mine should be taken more seriously. Because if one guy decides to have fun, troll and get people he dislikes banned, it is not going to go well. Since that moment, I started to record my own demos as well, just in case stuff like this happens again. Another issue I faced was posting a Twitch clip in their Faceit chat and receiving a 7-day mute, which admin called self-promotion. Meanwhile, reading their rules, they have no section about it, and afterwards he noticed it as well, but said that he is not going to unmute me because if the ban is handed, it is just simply going to stay there. And as it wasn't him who banned me, at least I thought he meant that, he said that he can't know if that's the reason why I got muted, which I totally understand and accept, but the problem is admins on their own not knowing their site's rules. These are the issues I wanted to touch on in this video. I believe there are other ones as well, and as I said, now I'll go back to playing premium, but I really hope they can fix their problems so I can join back in the near future. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you very soon.